I'm back with the second part of our story, Not Your Typical Dragon. Remember, on Friday, we didn't finish it because I wanted to leave you guys to predict, to make guesses about what was going to happen at the end of the story. But now I'm back to read it. So, if you remember from my story, if you haven't read part 1, or listened to part 1, then you have to go back and listen to it, or else it's going to spoil the end of the story for you. So make sure you go do that first. But if you remember, in our story, we have a dragon named Crispin. And Crispin is not your typical dragon. He is not able to breathe fire. Whenever he tries, other stuff comes out. So one time whipped cream came out, and one time Band-Aids came out, and marshmallows, and beach balls, and streamers, but never fire. Not ever. So, when we got close to the end of the story, he meets a knight named George, and they become friends, and George tries to help Crispin breathe fire, but he's not able to do it. Well, Crispin had run away from home, and he finally decides he wants to go back home. And when he gets there, they meet up with George's father, and George's father hunts fire-breathing dragons. And when George tells his father that Crispin isn't a fire-breathing dragon, he laughs. He said, "A dragon that doesn't breathe fire? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard." The shiny man laughed. Look, there's George's father laughing. Well, Crispin's father did not like that at all. Crispin's father stormed out of the house. "My son is not silly. He may not breathe fire, but I certainly do." And Crispin's father let out a powerful spray of flames. Look at that, him breathing fire. Well, then something else interesting happened. Let's read and find out what happened last time. "Do your worst, dragon," declared the shiny man, but then the flames scorched the lawn. "That's enough, honey," said Crispin's mother. "The flames singed the fence." "You've made your point, dear. Now stop showing off," she scolded. Then the flames ignited the roof. Crispin's father panicked. "I can't stop breathing fire." "You'll burn our house down," cried his mother. "You'll burn down the whole neighborhood." Dragons came running from all directions. They knew how to start fires, but no one knew how to stop them. Crispin suddenly felt a tingling in his tummy. He felt a bubbling in his belly. He opened his mouth, but fire did not come out. So I asked y'all to tell me what you thought would come out of his mouth. And I had some really good guesses. You guys are so smart. And I was so happy to hear your responses. And I also loved the pictures you sent me. They were amazing. I'm so glad you sent them. So now we'll see what came out of Crispin's mouth. And we'll see if y'all were right about your guesses. Ready? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? You're sure. Okay. A gush of water shot out. Crispin aimed the water at his father's flames. He saved his house, and he even saved the shiny man, who wasn't looking so shiny anymore. "Hooray for Crispin!" everyone shouted. Were your guesses right? Did you guess correctly? I know some of y'all did. You were so smart in guessing what would happen. Look, don't they all look so happy? Look at Crispin. Look at his father. He's like, "Oh, goodness." And look at all his friends are so happy. On Crispin's next birthday, there was a big party. Family and friends came from all over the land. Sir George and his family came too. Lots of dragons were dancing. Crispin stood with his mouth open wide. Fire still did not come out. Music came out instead. "Your son," said an old uncle to Crispin's father, "he's not your typical dragon, is he?" "No," replied Crispin's father proudly. "My son is something special." And then he jumped up and danced to Crispin's music too. Wasn't that a good end to this story? So Crispin saved them all with a gush of water, and they all came to love him, even though he couldn't breathe fire. And he could do all kinds of stuff, like have music come out of his mouth, and they could dance along at his party. I love this book so much because Crispin is not your typical dragon, and that's all right. And he does his own thing, and it's just amazing. So that's one of my favorite books. I hope you enjoyed the ending. I'm sorry for keeping y'all in suspense, but I just couldn't resist. I hope you loved it, and I'll be back for another book soon. Love y'all.